Welcome, everyone. Thank you for joining us. I see we have a couple of people still joining, but we'll go ahead and get started. My name is Sarah Compton. I'm with the marketing team here at Insight Software, and I'm excited to be your moderator for today. We're going to explore the current state of financial reporting and the biggest challenges finance teams face in reporting and how to overcome them. Our goal is to provide actionable insights that empower your organization. So we'll jump into a quick agenda for today. I will introduce you to our expert speakers today, Paul and Kevin. Then we will cover those key trends, some pain points, solutions, as well as hear from a customer. And then we will do a quick demo, see our product Spreadsheet Server in action. Lastly, please submit any questions during our session in the questions box. We will try to get to those at the end. All right, now I am really excited for you to meet our speakers for today. We have Paul Barnhurst, the FP&A Guy, and Kevin Gibson, and I'm going to pass it over now for quick intros, and then we will dive into the presentation and discussion today.
All right, great. Thank you, Sarah. I'll go ahead and introduce myself real quick. As Sarah said, my name is Paul Barnhurst. I'm known as the FP&A Guy. It's the name of my business. I spent most of my career in FP&A outside of a short government stint, as I call it, kind of like prison, in contracting. So, today I have run my own business for 3 years. I share a lot of things around FP&A, training, podcasts, and really excited to be here. Kevin, over to you.
Yes, sir, Paul. Nice shirt, by the way. I mean, just so we can advertise ourselves as being freaks in the sheets here. So my name is Kevin Gibson. I am a solutions engineer here at Insight Software, which is really just a fancy way of saying I'm a demo guy. So I work with customers, present products, and offer different solutions to challenges they have. But I am a financial-minded individual. I've been involved in finance now for about 25 plus years. So happy to join you, Paul. Thanks for having us. Thanks for hosting, and certainly look forward to the conversation.
Yeah, excited to chat with you today. So should we jump into things? I think so. So
let's do it.
All righty. Why don't you take this one real quick and just tell a little bit about Insight Software since you're the sponsor today?
Sure. Obviously, that would make a little bit of sense here for our understanding of who exactly is Insight Software. What do we do? Just a brief overview here. We were really just focused on the office of the CFO, Paul. What we do is we have different solutions for different needs for that particular chief financial officer challenge, whether it's reporting, it's tax, it's equity management, it's disclosure, all the different areas that you would think or need or want from a solutions organization or software organization. We have about 80 some products in our portfolio. There's a lot of those that cover a lot of different areas, but certainly on our website, we list all of those and we do one-on-one presentations. So certainly, again, trying to address those challenges.
All righty. Thanks for that quick introduction. Now we'll jump into things. So we're going to start by talking about kind of the current state of financial reporting and that ever-evolving landscape. Finance is always changing. Business is always changing. All we have to look at is what's happened over the last few years with AI. Amazing enough, comes up on the slide, the role of AI in financial data. So we're going to start with you, Kevin. What are you seeing or what are you getting asked by your clients about AI?
Well, it's obviously the first one. What are you all doing? So, and what an open-ended question that could be, because like anything any company's doing. And, I was thinking this morning as I was preparing myself for today's conversation and understanding, AI has just, I don't even know if we say it's scratched the surface. Every industry, even being more specific there, is different in how they're going to use it. For instance, we've incorporated into our products to help customers understand how to build reports, making it easier to understand the data. That would be something that an accounting or a finance individual would use. But you might think about using it a different way for a different industry, just based off whatever the needs might be. But we're seeing it more and more and more. And what's really nice and unique about it is that, just to the point of unique, everyone's doing something different. Everyone's doing something that's really interesting and sort of new. It's not been out there. It's not very old, but certainly some of the technology I have seen has been amazing. And we'll talk a little bit more about that when toward the end of today's phone call. But we are certainly seeing an uptick, and I don't know where it's headed, but it's certainly got a lot of opportunity built into it.
Yeah, no, it's amazing to see how quick the adoption has been. What did it take? Something like 3 days for OpenAI to hit a million subscribers. I think it was something like 3 months for Instagram, which was like the prior record for, online platform. It just destroyed it. So it just shows the interest there. But the reality is, even though there's a ton of interest, people are overwhelmed. There's challenges with AI. So I think it's important to acknowledge both. There's a lot of great things coming, but many finance leaders are struggling with, hey, where do I get experts? I just saw a report by the Connor Group. They interview people, and there are things like, hey, we're not seeing the cost and the revenue benefits yet, or we're struggling to find the use cases, or some people what companies to use. There's over 70,000 now that call themselves an AI native company. And then everybody's favorite. I mean, how long have we been hearing about data? But now it's even more important because you can't clean up the data manually and automate it with AI. AI is going to use workflows and systems. So you got to figure out, how do I clean up that data? As I probably have told you before, do you know how you describe an FP&A professional's job?
Go for it. Hit me.
It is 80% cleaning data and 20% complaining about the data you have to clean.
Which is funny because, Paul, with the way we've adopted AI here, it was kind of interesting when we first came out with what we were doing. Some of the basic things first. Customers could just interact with it. Hey, how do you do this? How do you do that with your product? Yeah. And what we realized, sort of back to the data point, AI would generate a response that we didn't even know that we had, if that makes sense. We realized our data wasn't as clean as we wanted it to be. It was finding inconsistencies in the data. When we thought we had it all buttoned up, AI was able to look at it from an independent point of view and return a response that we're like, oh, wait a minute, we're not ready for that yet. We got to do some cleanup behind the scenes. So it necessarily wasn't data. It was more the informational piece is where we started first. We're moving into that report assistant and help me build things and help me do that more functional. But the entry levels made us open our eyes a little more, and it found holes that we did not even know that it existed. So it was kind of weird, but yet good at the same time, because if we were experiencing that, customers were still looking at that. And now we're finding a better way to sort of present it and certainly at the end, clean it up to make it better for everybody.
Yeah. And so I think before we move on to key trend number 2, the key lesson here is, one, if you're not using AI, shame on you. We should all be using it at some level. 2, it's not this panacea. Maybe it is one day, but the reality is there's still a lot of things we need to do. And the idea is to use it to be more efficient and effective. And, the software vendors, Insight Software, is finding more and more use cases to bring it into its softwares, the Spreadsheet Server, etc., as is everybody. So, don't sleep on it. Make sure you're looking for those use cases and figuring out how to use it. But don't think it's going to solve all your problems and that you can just hook it up. Your data is going to be great. There's still work and learning to be done to really get the benefit, and technology to continue to develop.
Absolutely. And if you haven't gone, I mean, everybody indirectly, you're using it right now. If you go out there and go to Google and just do a search, AI is working in the background, and it even tells you that when the response comes up. So it's going to be here. It's not going away.
No, I agree.